Hi everyone, I welcome you back to my channel Salesforce with Roshan. If you are new here, I am Roshan. I am excited to have you join my video tutorial today. In this video, we are going to dive into a crucial topic for any Salesforce developer: communication between components in a Lightning Web Component. Whether you are just starting out or looking to refine your skills, understanding how components interact with each other is the key to building efficient and scalable applications. We'll be exploring both parent to child and child to parent communication, breaking down each concept with clear example and practical coding demonstration. By the end of this tutorial, you will have a solid grasp of how to manage data flow between your components, making your Salesforce development smoother and more effective. So let's jump right in and start learning about component communication in LWC. So the agenda, as we have already discussed, is introduction to LWC communication, in which we are going to see parent to child communication and child to parent communication both. So we'll be starting with parent to child communication. Okay. So basically, the parent to child communication or any communication is basically passing of message from one component to another. So if the parent is trying to communicate with the child, it wants to pass a message to child, means a message is coming from parent to child. Message can be anything, it can be object, it can be data, it can be text, anything. So here in the particular in LWC, the public properties are used for communication. These public properties are basically present in child. You can see here there is a API message. This message is in the child component and it is decorated with the API decorator. This has become a public property, and this property is getting accessed in the parent component. You can see this message. This is the message. This is the child component and a property message, and it is been assigned with this text. So the child has got this message. We'll be seeing this thing in the coding. Practically, we'll see this. So in the attributes, here in attributes we have passed it, and these attributes basically uh, are utilized in the parent component, right? So we'll start this with a brand new component. We'll create a brand new component with the name parent LWC. Okay, so we can see the uh, component is created with three files. One is parent lwc.html, one is .js file with the same name, and there is a .js meta XML file. This is a configuration file, and here we are saying Salesforce org that this should be exposed. That means we can see this in the list. So this is made true, and where we can utilize it, we need to set the targets for it. We'll be setting the target as home page. We'll be putting it on the home page of my app. We'll create some text to recognize whether our component is properly deployed or not. Right. Title, will keep it simple, parent component. Okay, let us close the card. Within the card, let us have a div. uh, div and inside the div we'll say welcome to parent component. Okay, so we have three files, out of which JS we haven't edited. If we need, we'll edit it, but presently we don't need it. HTML we have edited, meta file we have edited. Component is ready for deployment. Let's deploy this one. I'm using this scratch org, the scratch org that is present. we'll see in the browser. Okay, this is the SFWR Salesforce with Roshan app I have created. Home page which is blank, right? SFWR, right? We can see this is the home page. Now I'm editing this page just to see whether our component is there, present or not. We can see parent LWC is there. We'll bring it on the page. Now we can see it is there. We are saving this page, changes saved. We can go back, and what we can see here, our component is working perfectly fine, right? This is the title, lightning card title, and this is in the division. Okay, so that's okay, but this is just a parent component. We need to communicate the message from parent to child, so definitely we will be needing a child. Let's go back to VS Code and create a child component. Again, the same process, creating a lightning web component, and this is child LWC. Again, we'll be editing. We'll not create a card, as we are going to embed this component into that lightning card. Parent component has a lightning card. We are going to embed it there. So we'll not use a lightning card, but we can use h3, and we can say this is a child component, just to recognize that child component has started. And here we can have a message. What we can say, parent says. Okay, let us say parent says, and whatever it says, we'll be putting in some property. Okay, so in the JS of this child, we can say a property name message from parent. Okay, but this property should be a public property, right? It has to be a public property. So we can use @API decorator, and we need to import it, otherwise it will not work. So we have imported this. Message from parent is now an attribute for the parent component, so we can pass a message there. So here we can use it like here. Okay, now as we are not going to expose it, we are not going to use it directly, it will be always embedded into parent. We don't need to change it to is exposed equals to true. Okay, but we need to embed this in the parent component. But before that, let us deploy this one so that we can utilize it. Okay, I cannot see the option to deploy. Okay, yeah, it's there. It was deploy this source to org. Okay, so this is deployed. No, it's now it has got deployed. We are going to embed it here in the parent component. So we'll be using kebab case C child LWC. Okay, we are not using attribute now. We are going to just test whether this. Okay, sorry, we have clicked on difference check. We will be deploying. We are going to see now the component is embedded properly or not. So now let us switch back to browser. We'll be refreshing this. Here we can say from child component. Okay, parent says, right? You can see there is nothing, as there is no message passed from the parent. Now we'll simply change the message. Okay, So message is this is parent component. The message is, let us say, first of all, we'll copy the name of the property and it will be used as attribute, and here we'll pass God bless you. Right, let's deploy this one. Okay, so the thing that I have done is it should be also in web case. The error came because it is not in web case. Now it will not throw the error and will deploy it successfully. Okay, now it's deployed. We'll be checking whether it's working fine. Let's switch back to Brave. The browser itself is a Brave. Okay, we'll refresh this and we'll see. God bless you. So this is the message is coming. This is the message coming from parent to child. So in this way, the communication between the parent and child, that is a message from parent to child, has been passed. So a public property in the child and a message which is passed via attribute from the parent has done the communication from parent to child. Now we have finished with this parent to child component. Now we are going to see how the child communicates to parent. It's a bit tricky portion. We'll see in VS Code how we can achieve it. Okay, so before going to VS Code, what slide says that we'll see child to parent communication. So in this way, in this particular communication child to parent, custom events will be utilized, and in the parent this event is listened and then accordingly the method is executed. So custom event is a crucial part in this case. We can see a sample code is there. We'll see what sample code says. In the child component, if you can see, there is a event which is message event. It has been dispatched, and this event in on message event, here whatever the name is on, and prefix to be added to utilize it as a event. Okay, so now on message event, handle message, and this handle message is a method inside a JS of parent where we can do whatever the operation we want. Don't get confused with all these things. We'll see it practically right now. Okay, let us switch back to VS Code. Okay, now we'll see. Let's move to child component. This is the JS of the child component. We'll create an event on whenever it is getting loaded into the component. It should create an event and it should dispatch. So there is a life cycle hook called as connected callback. Execute the first. Okay, so here we'll create let ev is the event, and it's a new custom event. Okay, and it takes the parameter. First is the name of the event. So on loading is the name, and then it takes a object as a parameter, and in which detail property we will use, and here we'll pass a message. We are waiting for you. Whatever the message we want, we are passing this message in the detail. key and this is the value. This is the object we are passing. So we'll deploy this. Okay, first we need to dispatch this event as well. Okay, so this dot dispatch. This dot dispatch event, and which event we need to dispatch? EV is the event. Okay, so this method is ready. Now we are deploy this source to org. Whenever this component will get loaded into this document, this will create an event and it will dispatch it. Now the parent component is going to listen to this event, and this is, let's okay, not on loading, let us name it as loading. We'll be using on loading in the parent. Okay, we'll deploying it again. So I have changed this thing. Now in parent component, after this we will be using an event on loading. Okay, and we will be handling this on loading handler. Okay, this is the method which is present, which should be present in the parent LWC component. Okay, so this is the method, and this method is going to receive an event. We'll be setting a property message from child. Okay, and this message from child should be event dot detail. Okay, event dot detail, whatever the property detail has, it is getting stored in the message from child, and will show a message from child, welcome to parent component. P tag, let us say the child is saying message from child. Okay, we'll be deploying this. Now what we have done is we have deployed the parent component in which we have modified this line, and this message from child is basically coming from details of an event, and this event is coming from on loading, and on loading handler is receiving the event. So on loading this event, and this on loading is coming from child, right? From child connected callback we are dispatching this loading event. I hope everything is clear. Now we can see I've already deployed, I think, and we'll see. We'll first switch to Brave. Okay, now we'll see whether the message is coming properly or not. We have refreshed it. Okay, here we are getting the message we are waiting for you. So in this way we have demonstrated the communication between the parent to child and child to parent as well. I hope the concept is pretty clear. If you find any difficulty, you can ping me in this comment section of the YouTube or on my Twitter handle, wherever you find comfortable for you. See you soon with the new lecture where we'll learn how to communicate between the siblings, and few methods, few restrictions with them. So see you soon. Thank you.